Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, a very good evening. Stand-up comedians always say that their very first experience as being stand-up comedians is always very traumatic. And they also say that the room was empty. So now I've got you here, you have to enjoy it. There's no way out. There's no way out. Well, last Saturday, I decided that I wanted to start preparing for my speech. And I don't know if I told you before, but I'm actually a big fan of Live at the Apollo. I don't know if any of you watch the stand-up comedy at the Apollo. So what we did on Saturday night after we put my son to sleep, my wife and I said, you know, we'll have a glass of wine, we'll have a chit-chat, and all of a sudden I was zapping around and here comes Live at the Apollo. So I decided that's my Toastmaster speech. Well, I don't know what having a glass of wine with your wife looks like at your house, but at my house it looks a bit like this. She has one glass, I have the rest of the bottle. And she doesn't like stand-up comedy or Live at the Apollo, and actually her brother, my brother-in-law, absolutely loves it. So every time he used to come around, we used to watch it, and she used to go to sleep. So what happened, she went to sleep, and my preparation, believe it or not, for this speech lasted until 20 to 6 on Sunday morning. When I woke up, the TV was on, the light was on, she was in bed, and I was asleep on the couch. So that's as much as the preparation went. So this week, I've had a pretty busy week. I've traveled to Limassol every day. I've come back home at 8:30. And I was thinking during the week, what should I have on my speech? What should I talk about? And halfway through the week, I thought, you know, maybe I'll send Anthony an SMS and say, cancel the speech. But then I said, you know, I've always watched Anthony stand up and talk about whatever. And I've always admired that skill, and I thought that's what I'll do. I'll just talk about whatever. I'll stand up there and talk about it, and I'll figure it out as I go along, because I've actually admired that skill of Anthony, you know. And then what I did was, driving to Limassol and back, I had to convince myself that I was going to do this. And actually, about 2 hours before, I was thinking, should I send him the text? Should I not send him the text? I said, to heck with it. You know, I've sent the text before, and I've said, and I'm pretty sure some of you have done that too. You've said, you know, I haven't had the time to prepare, and then you come and you look down and you say, well, I couldn't do it, and maybe next time. I'm sure we've all been through that. Yes, we have. Well, I have, but I thought, to heck with it. Live dangerously. If you don't do it tonight, you're never going to get to do it. Anyway, if by any chance I actually go to the wayside and I upset you, or I say something that is unpalatable to you, I would like that you do stick to local traditions and customs. Here in Cyprus, when somebody upsets you, we don't tell him. What we do is we burn his car down. And I kindly request that you burn my wife's car. Because we're looking for a new car. Don't burn my mother's car, burn my wife's car. We're looking for a new car, so we're in the process of that. And in case you do tell somebody else out of this room, this is a secret in the room, and I get interrogated by the police, I will refuse. I will accuse you of lying, and I will say that you were bribed. And I will arrange for the file to be misplaced. Nothing ever gets lost in Cyprus, it gets misplaced. Nothing ever gets lost, it just gets misplaced. I mean, the only thing that ever gets lost is a man who doesn't read a map and doesn't listen to GPSs. And I've had that experience. When I was in the US with my wife, we went for a drive. We actually went somewhere which was 45 minutes. And we didn't take the GPS because we knew how to get back. It took us 4 hours to get back. And obviously, I could not read the map, and I couldn't listen to the GPS because it was a female voice, and I have a problem with that. You know, it's tone deaf, and my wife was not very happy about that, but that's how it goes. Anyway, that's pretty much my speech. I've actually stood here and given you a speech about whatever, and I've lost my virginity about becoming a stand-up comedian and faced my fear of talking about whatever. Yes, whatever, yes. And with that, I would just like to say that this is actually my first speech of the Advanced Communication Manual, not the Competent Communicator Manual, as Kevork said. And it's been a great experience facing my fear and facing the uncertainty of part of Toastmasters, and also opening up a pathway to new opportunities. So I would like to thank you for putting up with me, and I hope you have a very good evening. Thank you.